Executioner Hopkins. Thank you, Bernard.
Thank you. All right.
Good to meet you.
In the blue corner, from the United States of America.
There is Paul Gonzales within the ring. A kid from the barrio, a kid from the ghetto.
When I went into the Olympic Games, you know, a lot of people say, well, these guys are going to be hungry. I said, you know what? You're right. But as hungry as I am, because I starved for the Olympic Games. I starved 10 years for it. And I went in there saying, hey, I'm hungrier than them.
For the USA, the '84 Olympics were a time of intense emotional pride. But for one young man, Paul Gonzales, it was the end of a long, hard struggle against what at times seemed to be insurmountable odds. His is an inspirational story about a cop, a kid, and a United Way-funded agency. Together, they would travel the road to glory. Paul grew up in the barrio of Los Angeles, where street gangs were a way of life. In his neighborhood, you had to be tough to survive, and Paul was one of the toughest.
In a neighborhood, you have to deal with reality. The reality is survival. You're either there to survive or you're there to get walked over. Basically, I was always out in the streets fighting the gangs. I got shot when I was 12 years old.
But Paul's destiny was more than just survival. One night during a gang fight, fate stepped in the form of an LA police officer named Al Stenke.
Guys were going to go home. So I was there coordinating some basketball, and I grabbed them, picked them up and looked at them and said, hey, you know, why don't you guys start fighting for some trophies and some awards, some medals, and forget this gang junk.
And the next thing you know, there was this big old cop who came down, pushing his way through and yelling at everyone. I started boxing for the Hollenbeck Police Department about a week after that incident occurred. And what happened was that I had to sneak around the back through the door to get down to the basement, because running around with gangs, they identify you as a snitch if you walk through the front door of the police department.
Once I got him in the ring, and once he saw how great it was, what a great feeling it was, the gangs, we could kiss them goodbye. Oh, they were still around, but basically, I knew that we got him. Boxing was his new life.
For a fatherless kid like Paul, the neighborhood's new United Way-funded youth center gave him what he desperately needed, a place to train and someone to look up to.
Al Stenke's like a father to me. I mean, we've been together 10 years, it'll be going on 11 years. We've been together as a strong team. It's his mind and my body. With those two things, we're unstoppable.
Paul knew that boxing was his only ticket out of the barrio. He had a dream to be the best flyweight boxer in the world and to represent his country at the '84 Olympic Games.
When I saw the '76 Olympic team display themselves on TV, then I said, hey, you know, I'm better than them. You know, I can win me a gold medal. And ever since the '76 Olympics, I dedicated my life fully to boxing.
For 8 long years, Paul and Al trained for the Olympic Games. But as United Way volunteers, they still took time out to help other barrio kids.
You don't realize what a great feeling it is to help these kids. Someone's got to do it. I spent my first half of my career putting bad guys in jail. Now, instead of putting bad guys in jail, I keep youngsters from going to jail.
All right, so let's put some effort into it. Put some effort into it, all right? I love kids with a passion, and I believe they're the future of tomorrow. And like United Way is helping out people, I want to give my support in helping out whoever needs the help. If they have a dream, I'm going to help them create that dream, to make that dream reality. After the double jab, I push a positive attitude in their mind, because they basically go around the world saying that. And I'm saying, you know what, you can do it no matter what anyone says. If you need a friend, Paul Gonzales is here. Paul Gonzales can be found at the Hollenbeck Youth Center anytime.
Paul's 7-day-a-week training schedule began to pay off as he scored a string of impressive victories. Then in 1983, he entered the Pan Am Games, the last international test before the Olympics. There, after thoroughly beating his opponent, Paul suffered his first major setback. In a controversial move, the judges awarded the gold medal to his opponent. An ordinary person may have been shattered, but Paul is no ordinary person.
Paul's a special kid. He was a special kid that had that stick-to-itiveness. He just never quit. When he sets his mind to do something, no one can stop.
I have a saying. That saying goes like, if you have a dream, live it. Because if you ever let that dream die, you die right along with it. I find the strength in my mother. Like, she raised 8 kids alone. And like I said, if she wanted to, she could open up the doors and walk out on us anytime. And my mother was always there for us.
Determined to turn a negative into a positive, Paul returned home with more resolve than ever to win the gold medal in the '84 Olympics.
I mean, I told people 7 years ago that I was going to win a gold medal. And I was so confident that in '82, I had wrote on my mom's wall with a marker, Superfly Paul Gonzales, gold medal, 1984.
On August 11, 1984, Paul Gonzales, representing the United States in the 1984 Olympic Games, was awarded the gold medal. It was a victory not only for himself, but for all of his people.
They take a pride in it because I not only represent the United States, my people, but I represent the community where I come from. So everyone who was involved with me had a piece of that gold medal. When I came home with the gold medal, I mean, I felt a lot of pride because I walked in there and a lot of people were waiting for me. The gold medal would have no meaning unless my mother was wearing it. I did put it around her neck. I told her, here, this is yours.
On that day in 1984, Paul Gonzales showed the world a true champion. He was the first American boxer of Hispanic heritage to win a gold medal in Olympic competition for the USA. And he was awarded the Val Barker Cup as the most outstanding boxer at the 1984 Olympic Games.
I'm a kid who had a dream. United Way helped me make that dream come true. It helped me win the gold medal.
Paul Gonzales, the United Way, and all Americans salute you.